to the Nullified Take, where we have the TNT take on all things The Amazing Race Australia. And today I'm joined by TNT's resident expert in all things The Amazing Race, Michelle.
Hi, Vee. I'm glad
Thanks
we
for
got
coming
the
along.
times right.
Why does this country have so many different times? I don't know. It's just too darn big.
Oh, my God. I thought we were ready for a certain time, but we weren't, and then we were, and yeah, we're here. We're here eventually.
So hopefully everyone who wants to be here has joined us. I don't know. I'm new to this, so I can't see who's looking at it, but if you're here, welcome.
You should be able to see people who are chatting. I know I won't be able to.
I should. I'm also not wearing my glasses, so I'm going a bit blind. But
this is good. This is good.
We're off to a great start. So welcome all that are listening. If you're listening later, that's okay too. But why don't you join next time? Make sure you join at a time that we specify that we will get right next time, and then you can join in the chat and let us know all your feelings.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. God.
But anyway, we're back to Amazing Race Australia, which, you know, it's, hello, look, we've got some chaotic already. Yes, how do I add this show? There we are. Look, thank you, Ellen.
Hi, Ellen. Yes. Yeah, it was chaotic just before we even got on. What are we doing? I'm trying to get my husband to be quiet. He was on a huge call. I'm like, you got to get away. You got to stand on the other side of the veranda because I can hear you.
Yes, the chaos has started early and we're not even on the Amazing Race yet. We haven't even started talking about it. Thank you, Ellen. Feel free to comment often. I love that someone is here despite the time confusion.
I know. Exactly.
But yes, it's been a year, nearly a year since we saw each other, Michelle, for last year's Amazing Race Australia. Yes. How have you been this year?
I've been good. I've been, going here and there and seeing a few different things. I saw Beau's new show, I saw the taping of Top Gear, and then I went to the premiere. So that was lots of fun and got to ride one of those fast cars. I have no idea what they are. And it was great. I love it. And got to see JLP too. He's shorter than I thought, exactly what Beau says.
Yeah, I wondered that. I know he just tried to sort of get that in there and just make sure all the listeners know who's the taller guy. Yeah. Well, that's very exciting. So you've just had just as busy a year as Beau has.
Well, no, I don't think so. I think he taped Top Gear. He came back for like a week or something, and then he went to tape Amazing Race or something like that. He was in and out. Yeah. What have you been doing?
Very little. I've been raising a 5, now 6-year-old. That's when I say very little, he is very little. So that's
sweet.
Just running me off my feet.
Day. I'm with 5 to 6-year-olds every day. Kindy teacher. So they're my life.
So are you just sick all the time?
No, I have the best immunity. Just amazing. I hardly get sick. I pass everything on to my husband. The kids get sick. I don't. And then he's very sick, like men are. They're just like they're dead. So, yeah.
Yes. Well, we should probably at some point talk about the Amazing Race Australia. Yes. Starting off with something I definitely wanted your hot take on. We have another celebrity cast this year. Now, I've only been watching The Amazing Race for 2 seasons, so I've only ever seen a celebrity cast. How do you feel about having all celebrities 2 years in a row?
Look, it really did a good thing for the show last year. The ratings went up because of the celebrities. So, me loving the race, I'd rather it be here in any shape or form than not. I was a bit disappointed when I heard it was celebrities again, but because I don't have a chance to get on. But I'm loving that it's surging in popularity. We need it. I needed to be on TV. I mean, the American season can't possibly go forever, even though it has been 23 years. I don't know.
Survivor. Maybe it will.
Yeah, exactly. Survivor 40-something, whatever they're on. They're calling it 40-something because it's just so many seasons now. It's crazy.
I've lost track. So do you think that diehard fans, even though they haven't had the opportunity to audition for a couple of years now, they're still as engaged and keen as ever?
I think they are, but I think they're just disappointed that it's there again. However, half the cast are not celebrities. It's their relation or their friend. They're not celebrities at all. Some people don't even know any of the celebrities. I mean, but there was a fan on the page saying, oh, it's going to be boring, they're celebrities. I don't know how celebrities are boring because celebrities are celebrities for a reason. They're obviously bubbly, they're out there. That's how they got far in this world to be able to become a celebrity. Even if they're Z-grade celebrity, they are still someone who obviously has a presence and they will bring things to the show.
And Elaine says, I'll bring it up just so I can actually read it without my glasses on. I actually think this cast of celebs is great, a mix of people that everyone should know at least one of. Well, exactly. Definitely. So, you know, I don't know anyone in Australia who doesn't know who Thorpe is. So I feel like he's
exactly. And all the international fans know Thorpe. So there's fans in Canada and England who have been talking to me and they say, look, at least I know Thorpe if I don't know anybody else.
Yeah. And how do you feel about playing for charities? Like, I think it's wonderful that we can actually put these charities on a platform, but do you think that affects perhaps the ruthlessness of the competition?
Considering the penalties that have occurred these last two eps, maybe. I know a US fan put up in the US group something like the penalty edition, not the celebrity edition. Someone thinks that because they're not playing for money for themselves, they may not be as competitive. However, I think the Tillies and Thorpe are very competitive. I mean, they're sports people. That's just in their blood. I like the whole charity thing. I do not want a triple across the board winner like we'd had last year. I want one winner. They were playing lovely and being all nice, but no, let's not be nice. Let's have one winner.
Once is enough, I think, for that. That was a wonderful moment. We don't need to be doing that every season. But I do think it's great that every episode we do get a chance to actually bring to light some of these very important charities, which is very important. And it's a really good opportunity to do so. So I think I'm in two minds about celebrity editions. I think it's great to see celebrities break it down like this. But when you've got a regular person who's needing regular money, I think there's a level of competitiveness that just can't be matched in that.
Yes, totally correct. Or even a competitive person that is insanely competitive. I can see it in a couple of them, but certainly not in the whole cast.
No. So we're in Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Good luck with all these names.
Please, if anyone wants to correct me in the comments, I am learning. I welcome it. Sorry, please. I just thought I'm going to get distracted by chat. Elaine keeps talking to me. Do you think any of these celebs would actually race if they weren't doing it for charity?
Good question.
I think that's a big draw card for a lot of them.
Yes, I really think it is. I mean, some of those celebrities do get a good paycheck. Paycheck. However, I think the charity thing is an extra bonus, and they love doing things for causes. I think I don't know if they would. I think it'd be too painful for them, Ellen.
Yes, and I also don't know how the Australian public would stomach. I mean, who do you think would have the most money? A very unseemly conversation, but who would have the most money? You know, if you're considering Thorpe, to see him win a bunch of money.
Though. Yeah, but that was 20 years ago. You don't know because he might have bought a house. He might have gone on holiday. You don't know how much money they have now. And a lot of people in fan groups say, oh, that person doesn't need the money. They've got this. And you can't say that because you don't know what they've got, what they've done in their life. You don't know who's been sick, if they've had to give money to a family member. And sometimes, you know, you don't know everything. And I think it's sad when people say, oh, they don't need the money.
Mm.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're starting in Buenos Aires, and I did think of you because I last year you mentioned you like to be at the starting line.
Yes.
And when was the last time the start line was in Australia? Because it wasn't last year, was it?
No, ages. God, you're making me think. You've got to ask me these questions before we go on. I remember season 2, the start line was down near Mrs. Macquarie's chair, and no, it was in the Botanical Gardens, and I got a tip that it was might be near Hyde Park, and I was sitting outside Hyde Park for like 4 hours. But obviously it wasn't there. Yeah, I love being at the start. I mean, the US version once had the start in Times Square in New York, and you could watch it live. They had it streaming. So I actually took the day off work so that I could watch it live. It was like 11 a.m. or something, and it was amazing. And a lot of starts I actually cry because I'm so emotional. Not with the celebrity editions, but with the normal everyday ones, because I'm like, these people have got a chance to do this thing and have this dream. And yeah, very emotional at the start of a race. At the end of a race, I'm usually screaming at the screen.
Exactly. Like, I think it would be wonderful to have an occasion out of the starting line. I think having that where it's public, people can come watch. I don't know if that gives away too much of the show. It would if it was a celebrity edition, because I know they like to sort of treat us.
Although the start of the celebrity edition, they started, we had, there's a group on the internet that follows races all around the world. And literally the group, it's not my group, but I'm in the group, had photos from the start line same day. And so I think Channel 10 just released the cast literally the next day or the next week, because we all knew, even though I don't put it on the page until it's officially released. I don't put it in any groups until anything's official. Yeah, I knew all the races, and they've done it live in America a couple of times. And the crowd gets so pumped. The races get pumped. And it's just such a big atmosphere.
I think that would be fantastic. Now, we've got Ellen has some frequently asked questions for you. And I'm glad that she put Michelle, because I don't have nearly the knowledge you do, Michelle. Okay, so how's your knowledge going, Michelle? When was the season filmed, and how long between filming and this airing?
Ellen, can you give me a question page before I start? I'm pretty sure it was, no, it wasn't. Was it April? I'm thinking April. It was earlier this year. I'm getting confused when Bo was doing Top Gear now. He did them like back to back. So I'm going to say April, but I could be wrong. Do I have to Google as you talk? No. I can Google.
I think that sounds about right. Maybe that can be your homework for this week, that we'll put together, we'll have to put up some frequently asked questions, and we'll get you to run through them. So maybe in the comments we can go through and any frequently asked questions for next time. You can do your research over the week. Ellen also brings up the waterfall edit, which I don't know if that term was coined last year. Is that a term that's been coined many times? The waterfall edit that we had last year, where we knew, because they were standing in front of the waterfall, who was. So I think we've been seeing shots of Peter Hellier come up the last couple of episodes coming up on this season. So we know that he lasts at least this week before we've even started.
Yes, I don't think we've got a waterfall edit this year. I haven't seen anything that was very telling. Maybe when we get near the end, we'll notice something. But yeah, that was funny. That was so funny.
I have to keep an eye out for any sort of editing faux pas that come along the way. Anyway, we've kicked off in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and the Matildas. And this is another question that you might need the week to research, but I thought of you again. The Tildy said that no girls have ever won.
Correct.
Wow.
Aussie. Aussie, no. And
Aussie
they
girls.
didn't win last year. They didn't win last year because it was a triple thing and it was really two males who won.
Yeah.
So no girls have ever won, a girl team. In America, yes. They're in the minority, but they have won.
Okay, so how many females have participated? No, I won't. I won't put that on to you. That's shocking to me, actually. That's really shocking.
This is
Considering it's
why I need to be on.
yes.
I need to be on because two females have to win. If the Tillies can't do it, oh my God.
Now, I did hear a rumor, and I think it was you that posted that rumor that we are having a non-celebrity edition next year.
No, Oscar posted something that Bo said in an Insta post 2 days ago, which was they're talking about next year. He doesn't know if it's a celebrity or a not celebrity. And he just said, tag people in the chat who you think would be good. Tag people in the post, in the Insta post, who you think would be good on the race. And that's all it was. That was all literally 2 sentences. Yeah.
Just a bit of far off speculation.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, so you can at least have a chance because I'd love to see you on The Amazing Race.
Thanks.
At least I know someone who's been on it then.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're in Buenos Aires.
Yes, we've been in Buenos Aires for the last 20 minutes.
Yes. We have been in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and I'm getting, I think, pretty good at saying Buenos Aires. We're off to find a statue of Atlas. We kick it all off. Everyone's excited. Everyone's looking down the line to see who the celebrities are, who's the biggest celebrities. Yeah. And in my personal opinion, it would be Thorpe, but you know, that's because I'm a millennial, and I do know Cyrell though, and because I am addicted to Married at First Sight. Please don't judge me too harshly.
Oh God, yeah, you're judged. You're totally judged.
But we kick off. We're heading off to find the statue of Atlas, and the clue once they get there is to find the 4 dog walkers and tally up the dogs, which is counting. What did the end count be, like 50 dogs or something?
It was 35.
And they don't stand still.
I know, but wasn't it? Is it Cyrell?
I think it's Cyrell.
I'm sure her husband or partner was saying Cyrell because I'm thinking, is that Cyril? It sounds like Cyril.
Might be Cyrell.
I didn't watch her. Just a lot of people dislike her. And she was standing in front of the dog walkers so that they couldn't actually walk, so the dogs stood still. Did you see that?
I didn't catch that. Good on her. That's a strategy. Good on her. Yeah, she's a fiery personality. She was definitely not a meanie or anything on Married at First Sight, but she's coming across in an interesting way on this show, especially in terms of her interactions with animals.
And her fake vomiting, her, what is it, dry reaching all the time. Like, seriously, she was already doing it in the park. And she was
walking down the street.
What was she smelling? I don't know. She's a precious soul.
She is. And I think I saw someone comment on one of your sort of the live comments of if she's pretending to vomit this early, she's got a rude awakening ahead of her.
Yes, exactly.
Because I think every episode has had at least someone dry reaching or vomiting. So as someone who hates watching people vomit, I've had a great time the last couple of days.
I could tell you a story, but I'm not going to. It's really not fit for this sort of forum. Yes.
Fair enough.
I will tell you off there.
It is a very chaotic environment. I think anything really goes. But anyway, yes, I think Cyrell described them as disgusting dogs. And so I was already put off. I'm gonna run through this pretty quick. I haven't done this before, but the next thing I've got written down is that Logan and Bam Bam are just a delight personified, making best friends in Buenos Aires.
They're so good. I love them. They're the best team. Well, they're the most fun team. Yeah.
And as a non-sporting person, I have no idea who Bam Bam is. And so when it comes to knowing who the celebrities are or not, he might as well be a regular guy to me, because I don't know anything about UFC. But just making friends in the cab, making friends on the street. I mean, who wouldn't talk to him? He was licking Vegemite off of a guy's finger.
Yes, I know. What? That's a bit too close to comfort. I don't understand that. But yeah, I'm like, you make friends with everybody on the race so that if you can get an advantage in any way, you just you talk to everyone. Yeah.
And I think that's actually an incredible strategy that they have employed. The last couple of episodes is making friends wherever they go and getting all the help that they need. We had Nat and Mel were the first to add up the dog walk because they got the next clue, and they got a detour, which is our first detour of the season. I don't have an alarm, but it excites me. It was like a detour. Oh, I know what it is. National dance or national sandwich.
Yes. Well, you're in Argentina. It's going to be the tango. You do the sandwich.
Well, I think this is where we discussed last year. I feel like the tango has a little bit more of an opportunity to fake it and do it quickly.
But have you watched Dancing with the Stars? Have you watched the Argentinian tango where they didn't do it, where they actually kick their legs up?
Oh gosh.
And do all these different things. So I was thinking that. They actually had an easy version. But
yes, it did look like a tango for dummies. But I feel like when they have to cook up something, the detail, the level of detail that they have to get right. And 24?
Yeah.
Something like that.
There was a lot. After I'd seen it, and in hindsight, I would have picked the dancing. But being in Argentina and knowing the tango and their special tango, I wouldn't have done it. So yeah, I would have put myself in trouble there.
Well, exactly. I think on the flip end, I think I would have taken the tango and then realized just what I'd gotten myself into, because that was also pretty detailed. But I do have to wonder what they did with all that food, because that would have been like 100.
Yeah, there was no one sitting at the tables. I thought it'd be like a bit like MasterChef, all the people coming in waiting for their little sandwich. There was no one there.
I was just looking at that going, don't tell me that's going in the bin.
No,
because I've worked behind the scenes on cooking shows, and a lot of stuff just goes into the green bin at the end of the day, and it is the most heartbreaking thing to see. And it's just, But again, who knows what sort of level these churrupans actually ended up being.
Yeah, so, I don't know. They didn't look too bad. They looked tasty.
I'm not good with spice, so it wouldn't have been any good for me. I would have been straight to the toilet.
Yeah. Oh, really? No, I can't have spice because my eyes start watering. It's basically my ears start bleeding. Spice is not good. I was on a race once and they said, can you eat a chili? And I'm like, I can't eat a chili. Someone else in my team has to eat the chili. I can't. I will actually die. I can't. It's awful.
Yeah. No, I don't think I could. Ellen says watching Bam Bam and Logan do the tango was hilarious. I love that they chose that. They were obviously thinking same as me, like they could probably fake it. And I'll tell you what, as someone who has attempted to be dipped in a dance, it's hard. It looks easy, but it's really hard because it's like a trust fall. You really have to just fall back into it, and you want to put your leg out to protect yourself.
Yes.
But it's hard.
Oh,
so I was very proud of the boys.
Yeah. Oh,
and we can always Bo to try all the detours.
Oh, yeah.
Anything to do with food, I've noticed he's always there to try something. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Try something to eat.
Yeah.
I think it was we had our major awkward moment of the episode when Luke and Julie had to attempt the tango.
Oh God!
Together.
I know.
I think that was a bit of a stitch up.
Yeah. Oh, not great. Not great.
But I adore Luke as an actor. So I was like, come on, do it.
I know. No, it wasn't going to work. I don't understand why they didn't switch detours really quickly and just go and do the other one. It would have been easier.
Well, I wondered that myself.
The singer, I've never known that singer before, but she's really charismatic, isn't she? Country
Nat
singer.
Bass. Oh, the
No,
country singer.
the country singer.
No, I hadn't heard of her either, actually. Yeah, and she's got a lot of energy. She's a lot.
She's a lot. No, she's good.
Perfect
I
for the show.
love that sort of thing. I like a lot.
It's just gorgeous. Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And
when the chef was saying no to some of the sandwiches, some of them looked perfect. I don't know what was wrong with them, but he must have been really picky with certain things, or maybe the toppings or something.
Well, I think
I don't know.
I noticed that there was something about the charring as well, and if the bread was too charred or if it wasn't toasted enough, there was a delicate balance.
Yes,
apparently that I didn't really pick up on.
Yeah,
and it's a dance of love, not really a mother and son dance.
No,
but you could fake it, surely. But maybe it must have been far away from the other detour, because my first thought was, oh, we'll run off and make a sandwich. But anyway.
And so is it Cyril or Cyril? Please, someone, I need to know.
Chat, tell us, Cyril or Cyril? Because I can't remember from Married at First Sight.
She did say, she said, when you watch Amazing Race, it looks easy. What show has she been watching?
I know it does not at any look easy. I watched that and I'm exhausted and I'm still on the couch, just carrying a pack around Argentina.
Yeah. It's never easy.
No.
Like, I don't understand. Survivor and Amazing Race are not easy shows to go on. And well, it shocked her anyway.
Bless her. Well, I doubt she may not have watched it before in her life. Who knows?
Well, she seems to have watched at least one episode if it looked easy. So I don't know. I don't understand. The Tillies came up and they got their sausages. Did you notice they were swinging them around? Like you're going to hit someone with the sausages.
To unwind them or something?
Strand. Pardon?
Was it to cut them up or unwind?
No, they weren't doing that. But they had this strand and it was just like swinging around. I'm thinking, you're going to hit somebody. And then someone said, don't let them go on the floor. Oh my God.
I feel like that's a good rule of thumb when you're cooking, generally, is don't let it go on the floor. I know it's just a challenge and no one's probably going to eat them, but don't let them go on the floor.
Exactly. Yeah.
So we had Thorpe finishing his sandwiches first in true Olympian style. He got the next clue off to the football chant to learn and perform. And excuse me, what do you think of that? More football.
That was really hard. Really hard to remember those particular words, especially when they didn't have it on a piece of paper. Sometimes when they've got things to memorize on a paper, it's easier than looking at someone and having to listen to them, because the way they say things, their meter may not be the same as how you would say things. Sometimes it would be easier with a piece of paper, but it wasn't. So, it was hard.
It was incredible. But they got to wear cool pants.
And a hat.
Just picking up another language just by hearing it by rote. I mean, they've started off a big challenge already, and it was sort of a leveler for everyone too. And you sort of, it's another one of those things perhaps that you perhaps look at a challenge like that and go, oh yeah, I could do that, but the detail, the pronunciation, everything matters.
Yeah, exactly. One of them said, one of the guys, was it Jet? Might have been Jet or Adam. Jet or Adam might have said, they need to speak English. Why aren't they speaking English? English has to be spoken. Like, okay. Spanish is one of the, biggest spoken languages in the world. But anyway.
Well, here's another Amazing Race frequently asked question for you, Michelle.
Oh
Would they have
God.
been given a long lead up to knowing they were going to Argentina to perhaps brush up on some Spanish?
I don't know. Maybe because they're celebrities, they would have been told where they're going. Um, I know for getting their injections, their immunizations for certain things.
Mm,
I know in the past they may get like 6 different jabs, that they need, or they might only get 1 or 2. Sometimes they can tell what countries from that. Other
mm.
times they have to pass over their passports so they can get visas. Now, in the past, they may only be going to, say, 5 or 6 countries, but they've been given visas for like 11. This is for the
Wow.
US season. So they
Yeah.
still don't know exactly where they're going because they've got the visas for so many countries. So it throws them off. Yeah.
Right. So not
I don't
enough
know whether
time
if they
to.
do that for Australia, though. I haven't asked. I should ask somebody. Yeah.
Mm. Well, I guess if maybe they're just given a ballpark, yeah, you can't learn Spanish and then Dutch and then Japanese, sort of given could be
Well, no.
a short list.
What you should learn is a set list of questions
Yeah.
in maybe 5 or 6 different languages that are the most popular ones in the world. And God help you if you don't get any of them. But there's a pretty much a guarantee you'll get Spanish somewhere unless you just
Yeah.
go to Asia. I mean, then you've got no chance. But you should be
Exactly.
learning some Mandarin. If you're in Asia, you should be learning some Mandarin.
Yeah, that was my first thought. And is that your plan of attack for when you audition next?
Well,
Good idea.
I'm not going to speak in Mandarin or in French or in anything, but I would have them if I was cast. Yeah, I would have cards and things.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And now we have the Tildies finish the chant first, which is as they put it, people usually chanted us, not us at them. And I'm like, oh, I love you guys so much. And so they're off to find Bo at the pit stop, which I cannot remember the place that he's at. I did not write it down. I think it's in Argentina.
Centro Cultural Park. Did I leave out a word? There's got to be something Spanish in there that I must have missed.
Chat.
I've left a space because so many times it was like, what? What are you saying, Bo? Oh, and then it came up down the bottom, and it was so fast that I was trying to write it down fast. I have to pause next week.
You need to pause it. One of us will get it next week. And that soccer player that he had with him was so excited to see the Matildas. That warmed my heart. Because I feel like people in Argentina, if out of all these celebrities, they'd know the Matildas. Because they're a big soccer nation, aren't they?
They're huge soccer nation. I love when Bo was trying to do the soccer trick, and thank God he didn't break his ankle. Can you imagine that? First leg, broken ankle. That would have been good.
Just living life to the edge. Now, we've got the Tildies win the leg, elite athletes.
Yes.
We have Thorpe and Christian coming second, again, elite athletes. Jet and Lily. Now, they came through. I can't remember at what point Luke and Julie rocked up. Having taken a time penalty.
Luke and Julie, didn't they? They were right near the front.
I think they were, and that was really heartbreaking that they had to sit there, and I could tell that they, Luke especially, was really disappointed in that. And Ellen asked in chat, are they allowed to swap detours this year? Because it hasn't been mentioned and they haven't done it.
Well, they're celebrities. Maybe they don't know they can. There wouldn't be a chance that you couldn't. That would be really cruel to not be able to switch.
Okay.
I think you'd have to be able to switch.
Well, it would have been interesting if that would have made all the difference for Luke and Julie if they had switched instead of just taking the time penalty, because 30 minutes doesn't seem like that long. But when the chant sort of leveled everything, it really it completely counted them out. So Ellen's just said in chat they were 5th to arrive at the mat, I think. And I think that actually sounds about right. 4th, we've got Brooke and Adam. The 5th was Havana and Steph. 6th was Billy and Oscar. 7th, Nat and Mel. 8, Pete and Bridget. 9, Bam Bam and Logan. And 10, Cyril and Eden. Yes, that's
yeah, that's right.
I'm glad I wrote it down because I couldn't remember these names.
I always write it down, so I've got it anyway if you don't or you missed it.
And I think, honestly, Cyril and Eden were very lucky about Luke and Julie's time penalty.
Yeah, very lucky. Like they've been lucky.
They have actually been lucky. And Ellen asks, why was Luke and Julie's penalty 30 minutes and Jet and Lily's 1 hour?
This is the thing. Why are there different time penalties? It could be because production has worked out what would be a normal time to complete a task. So maybe to do the dance challenge, they think that the normal time to complete that would be 30 minutes. Whereas maybe on the next episode to complete, what was it they didn't do for the 1 hour, the food?
The food.
Yeah, maybe they thought the food would take an hour, so that's why it was an hour.
Well, it's interesting because production would have to time sort of a best case and a worst case scenario for a lot of these challenges just to know that they could fit them into the time period that they wanted to shoot in and know when Bo needed to set up. Because I doubt he's sort of following and going, I have an hour to go, I better go set up. I'm sure he's given just a time to be at the pit stop. Do you think?
Well, he has to go and do all the pieces to camera from all the challenges first. So when he lands in the country, he has to go to the first place, film that bit, like the explanation of what the challenge is, and then literally go to the next one, and hopefully be at the pit stop before everybody else. And
so does he do that on the same day?
Yes. Phil does it as well. So they've got to be on the ball and they've got to be there. They can often wait at the pit stop for such a long time, and that's why I've got quite a few photos of him lying on the pit stop mat. And I know Phil once had to wait on the mat a really ridiculous amount of time. And I think he actually went to sleep. It was the middle of the night or something. So it's very tiring for them. I know the project said to Bo, so all you have to do is like be at the pit stop in each country, and Bo's like, yeah.
Yes,
and I'm like, no.
7 hours.
No, they've got a lot to do.
So moving swiftly on to episode 2, and I knew from the get-go because this episode had the trifecta of my pet peeves, phobias all rolled into one. I hate to see people vomit. I hate heights, and I'm scared of horses.
Wow.
So if I was a contestant, I would have just been a gibbering mess for this whole leg.
You would have been like, what's her name?
Mel.
Mel, yes.
Height.
You would have been like Mel.
The poor woman. Yeah. No, it wouldn't have been great, especially because that katunk you could see as it went over, like as it left like solid ground, and it just I could hear that in my soul and she went and it went katunk. The poor girl.
Yeah, she wasn't having a good time though.
Bea was just watching the app from behind the pillow then. Pretty much. I had my iPad out to write notes, and I was just going, I don't want to hear people vomiting. I really can't. Not this much. And you got Cyril pretending all the time, and if that comes out of nowhere, at least with the food challenges, I can prepare myself.
Well, exactly. But anyway, they started in a different place. They went to Salta.
Northwest Argentina near the Andes, which I don't know anything about Argentina. So this has been, it's like wanderlust from the comfort of a couch, just going, I should travel. Yeah. I should travel sometimes.
You should travel. Yeah, travel when your child's bigger. Yeah,
exactly. So I thought it was a bit mean that they had to get a taxi up the mountain to come straight back down the mountain.
Well, it's better than climbing the mountain and then coming back down.
This is true. Actually, Mel might have been more comfortable taking the lift up the mountain as opposed to down the mountain. Maybe the other way around would have been a bit more palatable for her.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we get to the roadblock, identifying a dancer's, matching the swatch, and then identifying a dancer's medallion. Now, I thought everyone had a different swatch, but they all had the same, didn't they?
Really? No, they looked like when they were showing them, they looked like there were 3 or so.
Right.
Well, they showed maybe 3, but there must have been 11 or 10. How many teams? 10. There must have been 10 or more because they had a lot of medallions.
But then I believe they all had to find the same dancer, with which I thought made it a bit easy because that's the impression I got at the end, because they all chose the same
dancer. The dancer isn't like Mr. T wearing like 18 medallions.
I got the impression they had a table of medallions that weren't it, and a whole lot of dancers that weren't it, and they all had to find the same one dancer,
right,
wearing the medallion. Whereas at the start, I was like, oh, everyone gets a different swatch, right, to find their particular dancer.
Yes,
which I think would have been
I wasn't
probably
paying
harder.
Total attention in that point because dinner was running late and I had to get set up for Sydney Survivor podcast. And I'm like, what are they doing now? I've got to write notes.
They're watching the dancers.
I may have missed that bit.
The way they were stalking around the dancers, like they were like cattle or something in some sort of English pasture with these farmers. I thought that was rather unsettling, especially Chloe or Emily, the Matilda, who was just like,
I know. Yeah, I know.
So competitive.
And they were moving really fast, so it was hard. It was hard to see, definitely. But I love
Ellen agrees with me that it was a lot to process. Thank you, Ellen.
Yeah, there was. It was very colourful. It was a bit like where am I thinking, like Peru or somewhere like that, the colour and everything. It's amazing. Oh my gosh, she's gone. Where did she go? Does this mean I'm talking by myself? I can't even see if Ellen's talking to me. Oh my God. I'll kill her. I'll totally kill her. Okay, well, I'm just going to continue on. Hopefully she will turn up or I will turn off and then we'll both come in together. Okay, then we had a detour and they had to work out if they wanted to go for strong stomach, where they had to actually eat a cow's head, which had the cheek, the tongue, the eyeballs, everything. So it sounded like it was a bit like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Or soft touch, which was milking a goat, and they had to get 2 kilograms of milk off the goat. Personally, I would have chosen the goat, only because when it said strong stomach, I'm thinking, oh God, strong stomach, what's it going to be? And in the past, the US season has had cheese with maggots in it. So I don't mind food challenges, but if there's something else I think I can do, I will do that. I've never milked a cow, never milked a goat, but I would go for milking the goat, definitely. But I can't believe when Beau was having a go at the goat, and then he drank the milk, the nice warm milk. So gross. Oh my God. I don't know whether any went in his mouth, but seriously. So yeah, I would definitely choose the goat over the meat, unless you're coming back now, are you? I did all that by myself.
I was listening the entire time. You were wonderful. I had an absolute catastrophic system failure. You were perfect, Michelle. You don't need me at all.
Oh, yes, I do. Oh, my God. What I was about to say was, what was I about to say about? Oh, yeah, about the meat challenge and how in America, Boston Rob, Rob and Amber. Rob got to the meat challenge, and I can't remember what country. I think they were in a country in Africa, and they had to eat an insane amount of meat. Like it was ridiculous, kilos and kilos of meat, and he thought it was going to be absolutely disgusting, and he wanted a way out. She's gone again. Like seriously, you can hear me, obviously, and he wanted a way out, and he decided to take the penalty. But to take the penalty, he knew that he needed to make others take the penalty with him, because if he didn't, then he'd be out. He and Amber would be out. So he made, my Lord, I think 4 or more teams take the penalty at the same time as him. He was like a minute in front. I'm going to kill you, V. He was like a minute in front.
I'm still here.
He took the penalty, someone else took the penalty, and then none of them had to eat the meat, and they all went on to the next challenge. How good is that?
If these celebrities were to just organize, then they wouldn't have to do any of the challenges, basically.
Yeah, but they don't watch. They haven't watched 23 years. Yeah.
No, that's true. Just getting all my bits and bobs back to where they were. Sorry, all my bits and bobs. Yes. You know what?
You know what?
You know what? Unpopular opinion, and I'm going to drive everyone watching crazy with if I keep coming back and on. It's a new webcam. Yeah. I'm sorry, but I do know what button to push now, so I won't be gone for long.
Good.
That head didn't look that bad.
Well, I think the whole thing with like breaking the jaw wasn't that savory.
That was pretty violent. But it's beef.
Yeah, it's beef.
Yeah.
And cheeks are supposed to be good. Well, cheeks are supposed to be good on fish. So I'm thinking they might be good on meat. And eyeballs, I mean, it's like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here.
Just get it down.
It's not as though they had the other end of the animal to have to eat.
No. And that cooking underground, when they came out and it was all sort of like smoky and wrapped up, I was like, that doesn't look that unappetizing like that. I couldn't eat that much, but I could have a taste.
Well, you can't just have a taste. I think if the meat had been chopped off, come back to me. I think if the meat had been chopped off, then it would be okay. But because it was sitting there in front of you, it's like in China where they give you, I've not been to China, but my husband has. And when he went to dinner once, they said, this is the delicacy. And it took the cloche off and it was a monkey's head in the middle of the table.
Yeah, right.
And ate the brains. So I think it's all in the delivery. And obviously the cow's head wasn't the best delivery vehicle to eat the meat from. So yeah, not good.
This is going to drive me crazy. If you thought the chat couldn't, the life could get more chaotic now.
Yeah, seriously. Are we lasting like more than a minute? Why don't you just let your computer? I'm just using my computer. I'm using my computer sound, my little computer camera. This is it. Just be normal. Don't use any fancy things. You don't need them.
Just too much tech.
So, where are we?
No.
Oh my God, Pete laughing at the girls vomiting and Pete saying, "Can we move tables?" And even his wife was trying to stifle a laugh. And what is she vomited on the table. I'm sorry. I think it was Havana said to her sister, "Can you just quickly move your head to the left? You can do that. You don't have to vomit on the table." Like, why? Why would you vomit on the table? Like, I don't understand. It's so disgusting. Yeah. So anyway, Jet and Lily took the time penalty because it was just too much for Lily to eat, or she didn't want to eat any, actually. I think she just ate a mouthful and then she was gone. And that was it. And they went off to the pit stop. Yeah. And everyone else seemed to have a good time doing what they had to do. Doing the goat wasn't too hard. Cyril, she seems, she always goes down a different road with her partner or husband. She can make anything sound dirty. So, yeah, some things she says, I'm like, no, national television, Don't say that, although it's quite entertaining, but no, don't say that. And then they get to the pit stop. And after the first leg where Bam Bam and Logan came in 9th, all of a sudden they come in first. So it was pretty amazing by them, and they were pretty excited. And then in number 2, we had Billy and Oscar. In number 3, we had Brooke and Adam. Number 4, Thorpe and Christian. Number 5, Chloe and Emily. 6, Havana and Steph. 7, Pete and Bridget. 8, Jet and Lily finally got off their 1-hour penalty. So the others had taken quite a bit of time at those challenges. And then Cyril and Eden and Nat and Mel were out. I missed the whole horse thing because I'm here by myself. And Vee, I don't know where you are. I know you can hear me, but come on. Ride Like a Gaucho was an intersection, and the teams had to team up with another team to do the special performance in a set routine. And some of them had never ridden a horse before. I thought that was interesting. I've at least ridden a horse. I've actually been in Centennial Park, which is a big park in Sydney, on a horse, and the horse decided to take off with me. So yeah, I think I was screaming. It may have only been my 3rd time on a horse, and my horse was galloping full pelt, the type you see in the movies when it just goes. And yeah, there was a bit of screaming. There was the other horse trying to catch me galloping as well, so it was like watching a movie. And finally stopped. And I've been on horses a couple of times since then, but I make sure they're quiet ones who aren't going to gallop off. Yeah, so that looked like a really good little performance. They had big like poncho things on, and most of them did a really good job, unless they turned the wrong way and then they had to do it again. And one of the girls had problems trying to get it to move forward. But otherwise, it was pretty funny trying to see Bam Bam and Logan get up onto a horse. That was hilarious. Yeah. So I didn't take note of where we are going next week. And I know Ellen's in the chat, but I can't see what Ellen is saying because I am not the boss of the chat. I'm just the person helping. So that's the end of the podcast. Wherever V is. V, what are you doing? Oh my God. I've never done a podcast by myself. V,
Sorry.
I somehow went from the meat and the goats all the way to the finish and left out the whole Gaucho thing.
Oh, the Gaucho thing. Yeah,
but
terrifying horses.
I did put it in there, and I don't know why I know Gauchos are horse people, but somehow some movie along the line I must have seen it. Yeah.
Well, there are Gaucho pants.
Well, I don't know about Gaucho pants. What are Gaucho pants? What do they look like?
Oh my God. They're cropped. They're quite a wide leg cropped pant.
Would the Argentinian cowboys wear Gaucho pants? Cropped.
I'm guessing that's where it comes from. I don't know. I've lost my mind because the tech is giving me a nervous breakdown over here.
You're having a nervous breakdown? V, have you ever done a podcast by yourself? I had to look at my notes more than I could look at the screen.
Oh my gosh. I could hear you doing so well. You're doing so well.
I know, but I can't see the people in the chat. I can't see anything except me.
Oh, and they're just being wonderful in the chat. Everyone's
as if they're going, what the hell?
They're talking about the gremlins in my camera. Brand new webcam, and it's because I don't have a microphone or a webcam on this computer. So
oh my God.
Anyway, so we might wrap this up fairly soon, so we can I can get my tech issues sorted ahead of next week. I'm glad TJ's having a good time.
I'm so hot now.
Thanks,
I'm hot
man.
in my room.
I know.
Oh my God. Nervous. Trying to do it by
So where did you get
myself.
up to? Not the Gaucho. So that, yes, they had to do the horsey dance. That looked
I
absolutely
finished.
terrifying.
No, but I
Oh, you
finished and
finished?
then I went back to
Yes.
the Gauchos.
Yes.
I
Good.
missed the Gaucho sentences.
I was going to do, I have a tier ranking thing all sorted out, which we may need to save until next week because I'm not entirely certain of the
Have you got the
stability of my
thing?
setup.
Have you got the thing like last year? Do you know how to do it?
If you want to vamp for a little bit, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up. Did you talk about who won and
Yes. Could you hear me? I just said
yes.
you could hear me. Yeah.
I restarted my whole computer because
I didn't talk about their shoey. I mean, oh my God.
Gross.
I'm thinking both shoes look really new, but Bo didn't have shoes then to put on because they'd be all wet. But that was so gross. I mean, I've never done a shoey and I don't think I will. But they once had to do a shoey as part of a challenge before. Do you remember that? That was in the COVID season where they only went around Australia. They had to do a shoey, or it was a booty. I'm sure it was in a boot in the country somewhere.
Oh God.
In COVID season. Yeah, oh my God, that's so gross. So gross.
I've never understood the appeal personally of drinking out of a shoe. Now let's see. Share screen. There we go. Let's see.
Oh, you're going to share your screen?
Oh, look.
Oh my gosh.
I've got to put my specs on for this. Sorry. And just before we start, you've been dared by TJ. Michelle, do a shoey next live stream.
TJ, when I did a podcast for one of the earlier Aussie Amazing Races, not the ones 10 years ago, but the ones like 4 years ago, the girl I podcasted with, every podcast, we'd actually do one of these challenges live on the podcast.
Oh,
so for this one, we probably would have had to learn the chant, or we had to do something like, we would have had to do the chant, and yesterday we had to learn the dance. So, yes, no, I'm not doing a shoey. No, I'm not doing a shoey. Well, I'm not doing that because that's not part of the race. But yeah, it was so funny. There was a challenge in a past season where you had to pretend to be a horse and do show jumping. And my friend, my other podcaster, did that in her room. It was the most hilarious thing ever. It was just, it was podcast gold. But anyway, let's do this.
So we've got Ellen weighing in, Thorping for the amazing race. I have to wholeheartedly agree with you, Ellen.
On the top.
Yeah, they I think they're going to be pretty tough to beat. Oh, I did just also want to mention, I was glad that Nat and Mel got a second chance because it was spoiled for me by my father that they were eliminated because he watched the episode before me. And I thought when they were going an hour in the wrong direction, I thought that was it for them. Yeah. But there's that what is it? The intersection was actually a good leveler to bring everyone together. I would have talked in full if I hadn't dropped out, but now I'm just.
It was good. But having to race to the pit stop, a lot of people weren't happy that she had her Cyril had her bag carried for her, and the others didn't. And they were wondering would it have changed the outcome if they were all carrying their bags, which is always a question. But you always have someone else carrying someone else's bag. It's always happened in every season.
Right. And when you've got a sprinter like Cyril, she was fast.
She was. Poor guys carrying everything, and she's like whoosh, totally off.
But it got them across the line.
Yeah, totally.
At the end of the day. Now Ellen's giving us her next slot, and she did mean Brooke and Adam. For next to go. Do you think Brooke and
Adam? Look, they've come in third. In the what were they in the first step?
They
No, they were
were
fourth.
Oh,
I don't
fourth.
think they
Fourth or
are.
third.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't
they're
know.
doing well.
Out of let's Havana and Steph, the way they rallied after eating the cow was quite impressive. Especially Steph, who was straight up booting on the table, to then rally so well to keep on going. Yeah, I was quite impressed with them. Like, I think we could even potentially put them up there. I know they haven't had the best.
Yeah,
they came fifth, and then sixth,
and a 5. Yeah.
I think we could see them
possibly
actually bringing it out a bit more.
Put Brooke. I think Brooke and Adam should be middle of the pack, actually.
Yeah.
And Bam Bam, and I don't think they're going. Bam Bam and Logan.
I'd even put them up here. Although, having said that, they were 9th in episode 1. But that was the tango. That was the tango's fault, let's face it.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll make that mistake again.
I think Pete and Bridget aren't doing too badly. They were 7 and 8. They're probably going to go in the next 4 eps, but I think they're okay at the moment.
Jet and Lily, it was looking pretty dodgy for Jet and Lily with that 1 hour time penalty. And I was watching and I'm like, just take the time penalty or switch, just do something.
Yeah, I don't know whether they'll be okay. It depends. Is she a bit precious with a lot of different things? Like, is she going to stop doing few?
It was an entire cow head. And even Jet mentioned, he's like, I don't actually think I could have done that.
You have to. If you're on the race, you eat, you vomit. You eat, you vomit.
Which Steph did. And Havana was like, if you could not vomit on the table, that would...
That's what I said. On the table. You can at least get to the side. Like, seriously.
Ellen draws our attention to the waterfall edit. I think Pete sticks around for a bit because of the promos, and I would be inclined to agree that next week's probably not their week. Now, we got Dear Billy and Oscar now, but they came second.
Yeah, I think they're doing well. I think they're middle of the pack as well.
So perhaps, wrong one. Next week is
one of those two.
Jet and Lily. Because I'm unless we don't have 2 eliminations, because there are 2 episodes.
But I think we should have 2 there, just to say it might be one of them. Or are we only allowed to put 1 there?
We've got 2.
Yeah, I think 2 is good.
Yeah. Because that, we might not have 2 teams eliminated next week, but we're ready if we do. And I'll take
we got 3 apps. We could have a non-elimination leg in there.
Are there 3 apps next week?
Yeah, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday.
Well, then I think we need to add another next to go in there, just so we've got 3.
But they can't. They won't get rid of 3. We've got to last for like 5 weeks here.
That's true.
We've only had 2 episodes.
All right, well, let's leave it there. And although if we have 3, are we going to have 3 episodes? Because then it's going to be a quick couple of weeks. It's going to be...
No. What did we have last
year? Well, they'll have non-elimination. We had 12 episodes last year, I think.
12?
Yeah,
Are you talking US? No, you're not. You're talking US.
I mean, I am a novice to this particular show. I've only watched 1 season.
Are you talking? Yeah, that's US. That has 12. Okay, here we go. Let me have a look. How many episodes? Oh, no, 12.
Season 7, maybe because there was celebrity. Because other seasons, they've had like 24, 20, right? So I wonder if they'll... So my estimation is that we'd have, yes, we're moving to Sundays, 2 episodes a week for 6 weeks. That's sort of what I was thinking we were doing.
Yes. 2 episodes? Oh, no, it's 3. It was only 2 because of Hunted finishing.
Oh, sure. Well, then it looks like it's going to be a quick season then. We'll have to have some non-elimination episodes in there too.
There'll have to be non-eliminations. Also, I've found out the filming dates. The filming dates were 7th of May to 1st of June. So he must have done
not that long ago.
First. Yeah, I don't know. He must have done Top Gear first and then Amazing Race. Yeah, he would have. Yeah.
And then flew to Argentina and where else they're going. But look, that's our tier. So sound off in the comments if you're watching this delayed. Sound off whether you think that's about right or if it should change next week. How do I stop sharing? Oh my gosh, stop screen. Good. At least my webcam's been, I think rebooting my entire system was what it needed. So
yeah. I can't do what you're doing because I don't know. Like I never host because
you were so good though. You were so good
when I was by myself.
Yes, yeah. You were so good.
I couldn't do anything else.
I promise I'll never leave you again, Michelle. I promise.
You just left me.
But I'm here now. So we'll wrap it up there. Thank you so much to everyone in chat. Thank you so much for watching this chaotic, my first time hosting. You couldn't tell. Couldn't tell.
Wait till Chris watches it. So Chris is like the TNT guru, guys, and Chris will probably look at this and go, "What the hell happened?"
I'll get a message saying, "You're never hosting again."
Michelle on the screen by herself, and she doesn't understand what's happening.
But look, I hope, dear listener, dear watcher, I hope you got something out of that. You got something out of that recap. Next week we'll be back. I even have, look, I know how to do this. Look at this. Subscribe now.
Very good.
Why wouldn't you? Let's see how more chaotic this could possibly get.
Well, if we have to do one of the challenges next week, it'd be fun.
Well, you know what? Sound off in the comments if you think it should be mandatory that we need to do a challenge and what challenge each week that should be. Because if enough people insist, even if one person insists, we'll probably do it.
Oh gosh. One year there was a song in another language. It was that funniest thing and we both learnt it and it was just hilarious trying to get through it without laughing.
I'm not even convinced I'm saying Buenos Aires correct. So
yeah, you are. That's good. It's good. Buenos Aires.
Yay. All right. Thank you so much, Michelle. Do you have anything you want to plug? Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you? Not in your home, obviously, but
I'm at a school. If you want your child to learn kindergarten skills, that's me. Where am I? Currently, I'm only on the Amazing Race Australia fan group because there's nothing else on. But American Survivor is starting next week. We have a watch party at the Agincourt Hotel in Sydney. If you want to come along and join in the yelling with other people, which is always fun. That's where I am for the next week or so. Yeah.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching, and thank you, Michelle, and we'll see you next week for week 2 of the Amazing Race Australia Celebrity Edition. Bye.
Bye.